Hey Scott, great to talk to you today. Really excited about this. Maybe we can start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the Mission Zero project.
Thanks, Dan. My background is I'm a CU alumni, electrical engineer, so I'm on the geeky side of CU. Um, I, I went to school there. I met my wife there. My three kids go to CU. One still is at CU in applied math and computer science. All my brothers and sisters went to CU, and my mom went to CU. It's a university that I am, connected to. I bleed black and gold, and I tell you, CU has an incredible safety net for students and the resources around them to help them make that, path to adulthood. And so, I look at my decision and my kids' decision to go to CU, and I felt really comfortable, partly because that university it does the right thing by students. The other thing I really like about CU is it is a progressive university that really focuses a lot of energy on climate and sustainability, and has a community that surrounds it that is also very committed to those kind of issues. And so this project, which is really a climate project at CU, is tapping into those resources. It's basically what we're trying to do is take the smartest minds in the country at CU that are doing climate research and amplifying those voices in a way that tells stories to people that can connect with them, so that they can understand, one, why climate's an important issue to solve, and two, what they can do personally to help solve that problem. And I guess finally is how they can help other people solve that problem, as well as becoming an advocate for climate. And so this is about helping that next generation deal with probably society's most existential threat, and doing it in a way that empowers that next generation with support, resources, and direction to solve this very important problem.
So what you're looking to do is to connect to the people who are already addressing this problem, give them a platform, and allow people who may have anxiety about what they as individuals could do when it comes to sustainability and climate change, or maybe they just simply don't know the answer, and give them a path for them to be better involved in a movement, and hopefully bring people on board as well, so that there's a momentum build with Mission Zero, where the idea is that a year from now or a couple years from now, all across the country, there's going to be people excited about how they can have tangible effects on a problem that they very well right now are feeling like they might not know how to solve.
That's exactly it. I think the thing that happens is that people realize there's a problem with climate change, and they don't know what to do. And they feel a little bit hopeless, because they look into the future and say, if we don't deal with this climate problem, our future looks very dark. And that can create anxiety, it can create depression. A lot of negative things come out of, looking forward and saying our future looks really dark with climate. And so you've got to find a way to give them a path of hope and a path of optimism. How do we create a movement with common values, with a common objective that people really get connected to? And that next generation is that movement. And so what we're trying to do with this is how do we engage the faculty at CU, and how do we engage the students at CU to really be the storytellers of climate? Because innovation isn't going to get us out of this problem. What's going to get us out of this problem is innovation combined with behavioral change. So this story that we're going to tell is really, from a marketing perspective, which is what I did at ReadyTalk, it's that same buyer's journey. It's trying to educate people about climate in a way that informs and helps them understand the problem, and then help them understand what they can do to help solve the problem. So it's here's the problem, here's the solutions, and then finally, once they're engaged in solving those problems, how can you become an advocate of climate initiatives? And so we're going to do that buyer's journey in the marketing parlay, or the marketing speak, but we're going to do it through what we call a hero's journey. And it's the typical story, like, Cinderella, where they come from a specific difficult position in life, and they find a way to overcome the obstacles and find a brighter future. And so that hero's journey is told over and over in literature. So we're going to tell that hero's journey. It's going to be a climate hero's journey about climate. It's going to be talking about the problem. We're going to talk about the dark side if we don't solve it. And then we're going to talk about an optimistic future for people. And we're going to explain how we can solve this problem using technology and understanding of climate and how to reduce our carbon emissions so we can live a more sustainable life.
Okay, great. Well, what are you doing with CU now? What are the ideas that are on the table to turn this grand idea into something that's tangible?
It's a great question. So some of the things that we're working on, and again, this is a collaboration, so we're learning every day in terms of things that we can do. But it's really around engaging students in a multidisciplinary approach. So you have engineering students working with business students, working with CMCI or arts and sciences to solve interesting problems around climate change. So we've kind of created 8 different tracks for the students to explore. And the idea is to have them work collaboratively with the research at CU and the faculty at CU to present ideas that are sound, that are science-based, and then tell stories that take maybe technical jargon and communicates it in a way that people can actually connect to it.
Great. So with Mission Zero, you're creating the scaffolding that students and faculty and professors build within. So these are 8 structures. These are 8 very important things that need to be addressed. And the theme of these 8 things is how to connect to the everyday consumer or the everyday person that's living out there in the United States, and how that they can really have a relationship with the problem of climate change and be able to address it. And so I can imagine that there's lots of faculty out there and students who will be coming up with exciting innovation within the scaffolding. And I think that's kind of the point.
Oh, that is a point. It's not me or anybody on the team saying, here's what we need to do. We have great ideas. It's the students and the faculty saying, oh, here is a really interesting way you can solve this problem.
Well, I love that. And I think that it's exciting to me to be part of a project that's pioneering a very democratic view of letting the best ideas speak for themselves. And so when addressing these people in your life or in other people's lives who are at different places on their understanding or their relationship with how to address climate change, it's really about having these open conversations and making it accessible for everyone to feel as if they are contributing to be part of it, because that's how you get people to be bought in.
That's exactly right. So the structure of this project is taking data. It's like, where are we emitting the most carbon? And what are the areas that we can focus on? And so we've created these 8 different tracks, which are basically focused on not the industrial sector, but on the things that consumers can have an influence over. And then give them creative license to talk about it in ways that connect with people. And so the structure we're thinking about right now, and this is where we need help from faculty, is to help engage with us in a way that really makes this program successful. But it's building awareness around the climate issue. So what we're doing at the beginning of the year is we're going to do some hackathons for student teams to get together. And again, I'd like to see student teams that are diverse, that are coming from kids in all the different colleges at CU Boulder. And then ideating around these different tracks and how they can come up with solutions, whether it's a new business opportunity, a nonprofit, or just a messaging campaign that helps people understand the different things that they can start to do to affect climate. And so we're going to be working with those students and those teams over the year and trying to accelerate and enhance their work. So basically driving contests that they can run in classes to, write the best story around what's your carbon footprint. How does that connect with people? What are the ways to communicate awareness of your own personal impact and what you can do to solve it? And so these contests and these ways to communicate that climate story will happen throughout the year. And at the end of the year, we're going to have a climate summit. And it's going to be a combination of these students and teams presenting their work, and then they're going to be creating exhibits.
So you're tying passion and you're enabling these people to create creative expressions in something that they love to do,
right,
and being able to do it on a platform so that they get the response and they get that kind of energy to be able to build off of that and hopefully continue to create and message within this channel.
That's exactly it. So, universities are big organizations. So the other thing you have to keep in mind is we have to fit this project into the structure that the university has today. And so we have to look at the existing coursework and how some of those courses can be adapted to climate-related projects. So we're working with, for example, the engineering school on sponsoring their engineering capstone projects around climate initiatives, especially around the modernization of the electrical grid. We've got so many experts that can describe what that next generation grid could look like and how it can be highly renewable in terms of its energy sources. And those are really exciting projects, for me at least. And then we tell stories about it. We tell stories of what living in a green environment looks like.
I love it. And it's exciting. There's so many different options for people to pursue, and there's a lot to be built. So if there's people that may be watching this or listening to this and are excited about this and they want to get involved, what's the best way for them to take that first step?
A great question. So connect with me. I'm gonna tell my story in a personal way. It's gonna be, my experience in starting this project and my experience in working with CU on it. So obviously connect with me. The other way is to connect with Mission Zero. We have a website, missionzero.io, and we're going to have ways that you can participate either as a student, a faculty member, an alumni, a local business leader, a local community leader. Everybody has a part in this project, whether it's mentoring, whether it's helping fundraise, whether it's supporting policy. And so we're looking for not just students to tell these stories, but get the community and the alumni and the faculty engaged as much as we can.
That's amazing. Ways to join Mission Zero. Very exciting. And I think that there's going to be a lot of things to be built off this. Well, I want to thank you, Scott. It was great talking to you, and I look forward to seeing what this is going to be like in the future, both near and far.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thanks.